Coming up on River City Presents is singer-songwriter Kayla Little. Welcome to River City Presents. My name is Daniel Hurt. While this show often features current events and politics, one of the things I wanted to do most when I got this program was to talk about and highlight some of the great musicians and artists in our area. And today I'm happy to introduce Murray singer-songwriter, guitarist, and lead vocalist of the band Little by Little, Kayla Little. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Daniel.
So, tell us a little bit about who you are in your band and how all that got started.
Yeah, I'm from Murray, Kentucky, born and raised, and ended up going to college there, and that is where I met my bandmates, or at least some of them. For Black Eyed Susans, that's a female folk trio based out of Murray. Melanie Davis and we did...
Who's been on the show.
Yes, she has, a previous guest. She and I did Hansel and Gretel at Murray State Opera Theater, and so that was quite a transition going from musical theater and opera to singing in bars together, and then eventually singing our own music. So that was... It's been a journey with her for sure. And our other Black Eyed Susan, Sophie Ann Woods, she is also from Murray, Kentucky, and is a local musician who makes the rounds in Paducah and everything. And we met her via, you know, just the music community and playing at the Apple and stuff.
So, but first let's talk about Little by Little.
Oh yes, Little by Little.
So
Can't
did
forget.
you meet? I know being in a band, you kind of got to gel and get along. Did you all meet at Murray State, or how does that work?
We did. We were all students. I was taking a few sporadic lessons from Brent Webster, the guitar professor at Murray State, and I was like, who is someone that you think could play guitar really well for me that is like versatile and not just like classical guitar and stuff? And he recommended Chris Abel. And so Chris was the first recruit of the band, and he was the lead guitarist from 2016 when we all, you know, started practicing together. We didn't play out until 2017. But from 2016 to 2018, it was Chris. And then we also have Brent Smith. He was our second recruit on the bass, and Brent is still our bassist, going strong. Him and I are the two standing original members of the band, and we've been close friends the whole time. He lives just like right behind me. We're neighbors too, so it's convenient for rehearsals.
Not far for you, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
And then in 2019, we added Sam Blaylock on electric guitar. He's also a local Murray person. And he's just been, you know, exploring his talents on his own, but Melanie was friends with him, and I went to school with him, and we were like, let's just try and see what happens, and it was perfect. It was a great fit.
It's cool. It's like you all just sort of a group of friends knew each other and then decided to start playing music together.
Yep, and then like added people as we went along. Our most recent recruit is Nelson Youngblood IV on the drums. He's from Union City, Tennessee, but currently I think about to start his senior year at Murray State.
So it's not just you know, picking up an instrument or learning outside of school. So you're both academically like educated through Murray State, and also just sort of doing your own thing. Yeah, 3 out of 4 of us in Little by Little right now perform with the jazz ensembles at Murray State, jazz band, jazz orchestra, as well as Melanie from the Black Eyed Susan. Yeah.
She was very into the singing for the jazz orchestra.
So talk a little bit, and I know you'll be playing it a little bit, but talk a little bit about your sound. So you talked about playing with jazz orchestras, so I mean there's some folky jazz in there, right?
Yes, definitely. Jazz has been an influence. I really love the older jazz, the classics, the standards, the ones that used to be the pop of the day.
Right.
And like one of my favorite jazz singers is Kay Starr, and she was just kind of a utility singer for Capitol Records, just could sing anything from country to show tunes to gospel, you know, just someone who went in every direction.
Versatility, yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of my thing, I think, is being versatile and not really falling into a singular category. So whenever people are like, what's your genre? And I'm like, how many do you want? Because I can give you some options.
One of the things I know reading about the band and everything is the way that you all describe yourself as familiar yet new, so sort of borrowing from the classics.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. There's no doubt that there are a lot of musicians out there that have influenced our sound, and we want to give them credit and say that, you know, they are the ones who help create who we are as musicians.
Who do you listen to? Because I know inspiration you know, musicians listen to the musicians. So who do you all draw your inspiration from? You just mentioned some jazz, but there's a little more, right?
Growing up, I was pretty much my mom's guinea pig as far as her taste in music, just kind of copy and pasted onto me. So we love the Beatles. That's my #1 all-time favorite band that no longer is together, sadly. But
they did play on a rooftop one time, though.
Oh yeah, famous episode of the Beatles in life. But yeah, so the Beatles, I love Carole King. She is probably one of my favorite songwriters of all time.
Mine too.
And just the way she can, like the tapestry of her album, she can just paint a picture with words so incredibly. And some more modern influences. Sarah Bareilles is like the first singer-songwriter that I started molding myself kind of after, you know, to look at her as someone to be like, I want to do stuff like that and create music that, I don't know, tells my story but also other people's stories, and in a really deep and introspective way, but also can relate to everyone on a pop scale of things, you know, be on the radio, but also be on some people's playlists that don't listen to the popular radios.
Speaking of that, you've got a couple of EPs out, Shine and Open Doors. Talk a little bit about those with Little by Little.
Yeah, so Shine was the first one that we put out. We recorded that one with the Murray State Recording Studio. Justin Patton is the guy in charge there, and he orchestrated the whole thing as while we were in class learning about recording stuff. Both Brent had already taken the class, and then Chris Abel and I were both in the class as students while we were still getting our degree. And so the class all worked on different projects of mixing, but Justin Patton was the one who was at the helm of it and helped us create that 4-song EP. So that was a nice little taste to get out there of our music. And then a couple years later, we got back in that same studio, but with Brent Smith, our bassist and also audio engineer at the helm. So he is an incredible engineer, mixing, and he just has a great ear for you know, helping us create a direction we want to go. And so we recorded that, I believe, in 2018 winter, and released that in 2019, Open Doors. And I'll be playing one of those songs later. And so...
And I'm assuming that you've toured around before COVID, and then with COVID that kind of got complicated, right?
Yes, yeah. Before COVID, we were definitely trying to expand the touring, go to a bunch of different places. I even joined Melanie Davis on her Allegoria tour. Yes. And COVID, you know, definitely halted the travel for a while. We found some different ideas of ways to share our music, like live streams. We followed a lot of people's steps in doing that, and it was successful. It just, you know, we didn't want to put our whole repertoire out there because we were hanging on to a live stream for an hour, seeing comments from our friends, family, and some fans.
Do things like COVID or what inspires you when you write your music? Because I know you get a good flow going, you've got creative forces that inspire you. So.
Yeah, a lot of time it's experiences, things that I've lived through that inspire my lyrics. Sometimes I like to borrow from other people's experiences, but for the most part it's easier for me to write about personal things, that it's just kind of like my diary entry, but in a way that rhymes in this song. And so that's the easiest way I've found to write music. And then I've also borrowed from some poets like Edgar Allan Poe. On that first Shine album, Annabel Lee is based on his poem, Annabel Lee. And then I've also done another one of his poems, A Dream, and some Sarah Teasdale poems, as well as Sylvia Plath. So before I was writing my own lyrics, that's kind of how I, like with a little tricycle, you know, had the other poets helping me out, and you know, I was like, this is a challenge to create something out of something that's already there. So
we're almost out of time, but I want to ask, so you're working on a new record coming out with Little by Little and some Black Eyed Susans, so is that to tell us a little bit about what to expect down the road?
Yeah, later this year, Little by Little will be releasing an EP. with a dreamy mentality. We haven't quite nailed down the details yet, but keep an eye on our social medias and stuff like that. Both bands have websites, littlebylittleband.com and blackeyedsusansmusic.com, and we update our upcoming shows and everything. And yeah, so just keep up to date, because things are moving faster, faster and every day.
Yeah, and I'm glad that it's something that's user friendly like that, where if you see this show, you can check way down the road for future shows.
Right, yeah,
so.
for the next time you're in town, or the next time we're in your town, that type of thing.
That's right. Well, we're going to break away, and we'll have you perform, and then we'll come back and say goodbye. So we'll break away for just a moment, and we'll have music from Kayla Little.
This first song, my band Little by Little recorded in Nashville, Tennessee last summer, and it's going to be coming out sometime this summer, to be determined. So this one's called Just Dreamin'. Thinking of all the conversations we haven't had yet. Thinking of all the things that we might do. There are so many different directions this could go from here, and I wanna see where this thing goes with you. I'm staying up way too late with too much energy. I can't fall asleep when you're what I'm thinking about. I wonder if I talk to you the way I wanted to, would that put to sleep my endless doubts? I feel flutters from the things you might say, knowing those lips are only miles away. Yeah, I can't help myself from feeling this way. But hey, I'm just dreaming. I've always been told to keep my expectations low, but every time we talk, you've got me feeling so high. I'm getting ahead of myself. I need to step back and take things slow, but I never feel that way when I'm looking in those eyes. I'm staying up way too late with too much energy. I can't fall asleep when you're what I'm thinking about. I wonder if I talk to you the way I wanted to, would that put to sleep my endless doubts? I feel flutters from the things you might say, knowing those lips are only miles away. Yeah, I can't help myself from feeling this way. But hey, I'm just dreaming. I'm staying up way too late with too much energy. I can't fall asleep when you're what I'm thinking about. I wonder if I talk to you the way I wanted to, would that put to sleep my endless doubts? I feel flutters from the things you might say. Yeah, knowing those lips are only miles away. Yeah, I can't help myself from feeling this way. But hey, I'm just dreaming. Hey, I'm just dreaming. Hey, I'm just dreaming. next song is called Priorities. I thought this was real. I thought we were on the same page, 'cause you made me feel like we felt the same way. Why couldn't I see you never felt the same way as me? No. I shouldn't have to explain. I get that you were playing, but I don't like games. I went along because I had no shame. Followed your lead, making all the moves, so you're the one to blame. I've been watching love fall apart for so long. I'm finally learning to keep my heart where it belongs, with me. I'm the only one that's looking out for me. I've gotta be my priority. Done letting people undervalue me. It's time to straighten out my priorities. My priorities. I know we had some fun, but I don't feel like begging for your attention. Oh, please just let that set in. I don't have the time to stress over something that's not mine. No. I've been watching love fall apart for so long. I'm finally learning to keep my heart where it belongs, with me. I'm the only one that's looking out for me. I've gotta be my priority. Done letting people undervalue me. It's time to straighten out my priorities. My priorities. All right, and this next one I wrote in the midst of the pandemic. Oop, knocking around that capo. This one doesn't have a title. I just call it my pandemic song, just kind of an expression of what I was feeling at the time. Forgetting what is lost. The sedatives are losing their effect. Sort of alone, but at the same time, all of my thoughts are racing for space inside my mind.
same place with no direction, no idea where I wanna go, lacking motivation. When will I face the things that I need to grow? Better off alone was my mentality, but now I know I need people with me to face reality. Though we can't be near and we feel so distant, I know we'll find a way to persevere, but we must listen to the truth and not the fear.
All right, this is my last song. This one is entitled Open Doors. It's about finding a little bit of positivity in the darkness.
Sometimes things won't go your way, no matter what you do or say, but you've got to hold on tight to this life. Don't give up, it'll be alright. Disappointments come more often than not. Situations will put you on the spot, but you can make it through and you can succeed. First, you have to find what you need to thrive in this life. Stay alive and fight what's pulling you down to the ground, and you will rise, rise and fly like never before. But you have to try to find what's in store for you in this life. It's not only strife, there's so much more. Throw the open doors. This world is full of pain, but you can't dwell on it or you will go insane, feeling hopeless and lost from all of the thoughts trying to cloud your brain. Try to look for opportunity instead of the negative, and you will see you can feel good the way that you should, I guarantee. First, you have to find what you need to thrive in this life. Stay alive and fight what's pulling you down to the ground, and you will rise, rise there's so much more. There are the open doors. There are the open doors. There are the open doors.
And we're back. Thank you, Kayla, for coming on the show. You're welcome to come back anytime, and maybe we'll get the whole band next time to come play on the show.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I know all my members would be up for it because we love Paducah and everything involved here. And you put on a great show, Daniel.
Well,
Can't lie.
Thank you very much. That means a lot. That was Kayla Little of Little by Little and the Black Eyed Susans. Their music is streaming on all major platforms, including Bandcamp, Amazon Music, and Spotify. We hope you'll check them out, and we hope you'll catch us next time.